Good morning everyone, how are you doing? My name is Infrared and today I'm going to be showing you some very weird puzzles I got from the Puzzle Store UK. So what I have bought is an IE 4x4x5, a Lattice Cube, Cross Cube, Kilominx and a Crazy Comet. And in no particular order, let's get started. First we have the IE 4x4x5. This is... if you like cuboids, then I would highly recommend this one. Not particularly challenging and the quality is just amazing. Compared to a standard 4x4, it is basically the same size with an extra layer. The colors do look really nice together. Blue and green is really contrasting well. I would have personally preferred like a slightly darker green, but really, I don't care. White and yellow is nothing really special, how can you muck that up? Orange and red, again, quite standard. Now I do absolutely love cuboids and I only really have one other one that's a Cube for You 3x3x5. If you can solve this, you can basically solve anything because it teaches you centers and edge reduction. And why not? Let's just scramble this thing. So because this is a 4x4x5 and not a 4x4x6 or something like that, it does not shapeshift. Turn these 4x5 layers 90 degrees, it can't turn. The top is only white and yellow, but the four sides are the other four colors. This does look really nice when it is all scrambled. And when it is all solved. It's a good looking puzzle altogether. Next is the Lattice Cube. This was invented by, if I can see correctly, it's invented by Katsuhiko Okamoto and Gregoire Pfenning. They've both got weird names. This is a corner turning cube on two layers, so it can turn like a dino cube, like this, these big triangles. Also these smaller tips can turn too. This isn't as difficult as a puzzle as I first imagined. When I was looking at pictures of this, I already came up with a method, and that method worked. It was basically reduce it to a dino cube by taking these two edges and matching them up with the, again, center. I will be doing a tutorial for this because this is relatively simple. Next we have the Kilominx. This is just like a Megaminx, just less. You know what I meant. Is compared to a normal Megaminx, this is a Dian by the way, it is very similar in size. In fact, basically the exact same size. But this does feel heavier for some weird reason. It may just be a different company. Now just quickly comparing the colors, the Dian and Shengshou do have similar if not the same color scheme. So we have these. I do actually prefer the purple on the Shengshou, this one's a bit too light for me. Orange is basically the same. Same for blue, same for red. Turned around. Grey is slightly lighter on the Shengshou, and I do actually prefer the darker grey. Pink, same. Yellow is basically the same, this is a bit more beige than yellow, but who really cares? Spoilers, not me. Blue, same. Orange, same. Green, same. Solve, same. Now, this turns fantastically well, and I would absolutely love if Kilominx was an official WSA event. This is exactly like a 2x2 Megaminx and looks really cool when scrambled. Scrambles reasonably quickly because it is a lot fewer pieces than on a normal Megaminx. And one interesting thing is these center bits are actually capped, whereas on most other 2x2s they aren't. Might just be because of the cuts that you can actually see the screws. That's what it looks like scrambled, and this is what it looks like solved. I have an idea. Like that, and... oh, come on. Never mind. Moving on. So next we have the Crazy Comet. This was invented by Oscar van Deventer and is a face-turning rhombic dodecahedron. Or in English, it has 12 faces. This is absolutely mental, both looks and solve. I've solved this once, it took me 2 days, and I'm probably never going to do it again. This is so incredibly fun and so incredibly difficult, because I do not own a helicopter cube, or a curvy copter. That's why this is so difficult, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Why this is so difficult is because these faces, run by the way, can turn 180 degrees, which is pretty standard. Also, can turn this angle, which I have no idea what this is. Meaning, it can still turn. Continue to scramble, and look like this. Completely bonkers. This is actually a lot smaller than I was expecting. Compared to a normal 3x3, it is just a tiny bit higher. I'd say it's about the same size as a Megaminx, really. Well, looking at it now, it's slightly bit taller, but standard Megaminx and this puzzle isn't particularly big. And there are some reasonably small stickers, although I have seen puzzles with smaller ones. Then they do still hold up really well after my fiddling with it, which I wouldn't even attempt to call solving. This is so much fun to solve. Now, last and definitely not least, the cross cube. Out of these 5, this is definitely my favourite. Sort of similar to the Lattice Cube, as in the way I thought that I could solve it actually worked. And if you don't know what this puzzle is a puzzle that can turn on these faces here, and also these deeper faces, like that. Stand back. Now the way I solve this is the first 5 faces, I solve like a super 5x5, using 5x5 center techniques and I guess F2L, but that's kind of beside the point. The last center I solve using cuboid algorithms, and then I deal with parity later. And my parity algorithm is not an algorithm, it's more a method, and I do really like that. Also gonna do a tutorial on this. This is so much fun to solve, I would highly recommend this one. Also, it just looks bananas when solved and scrambled. Now, might as well get to that. This turns fantastically well, although I do want to say, let's turn the actual layers too, that's straight out of the box, and the first ever solve, it did have some minor catches. Like, you could turn one way, perfectly fine, then the other way it just would not turn, but now it can do both sides really well, because I've solved this like 20 times over the 2 days that I've owned this. I really like this puzzle. Look at that, after like a minute or less of scrambling, it just looks like this. That is basically all I have to say about these puzzles. Tutorials for these 3 should hopefully come out either this or next week. I can't really promise anything, I've got a job and I'm lazy. These are all so much fun to solve. The Kilominx is a lot easier than I expected for some reason. This is a lot more difficult than I expected for some reason. These 3 are basically as I expected. If you like the video, then please do so, and if you like me as a person, then why not subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.